Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a fantastic day. As always, leaving a like or a comment or subscribing, all of these things do help out the channel immensely. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Welcome back to another edition of The Rich People Are Buying All the Bitcoin on the Planet, and not a lot of people are paying attention to the fact that they're going to own everything in the next 10 years. News. Yeah, so there is a company called New York Dig, that is NYDIG, who is believed to currently own or possess around $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. They have recently announced that they are going to be starting a new Bitcoin institutional fund, which basically means it's only going to be for the richest of the rich on the planet. And apparently it is going to, they have recently raised $720 million US for the fund. This is significant for a number of reasons. Historically, within the cryptocurrency space, and even more so, I would give it a time frame, let's say since around 2018, a number of companies began to announce openly that they were getting into the cryptocurrency space, that they were into Bitcoin, that they were buying Bitcoin, that they just happened to have some Bitcoin from a couple of years ago. No one knows exactly where it came from. A lot of companies then began to say, we already hold, and now we're thinking of buying some more. A lot of them would mention that they were throwing in 25 million into the market. They were throwing 75 million. One of the more significant ones was a company by the name of MicroStrategy. Everyone in crypto for the last couple of years should definitely know them. They announced, well, we like Bitcoin, we're definitely going to go even further into it, and I think they purchased $500 million worth of Bitcoin. This keeps happening over and over. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you notice I do these videos every now and again where I talk about how much rich people are buying. Usually, a lot of the times, the cryptocurrency space / Bitcoin news usually tends to focus around how high Bitcoin's price is going to go. Where can this coin go? Is this coin going to be around in 5 years? A lot of people, for some reason, tend to miss the news that rich people are not only buying, but they're buying massive amounts of Bitcoin. Hear me out here. This is one company. This is New York Dig, who recently announced that they have $720 million that is going to be going into a Bitcoin fund. We know other companies are also buying Bitcoin. We know that there are countries who are buying Bitcoin. If you missed those videos, you got to Google it because it's way too much to talk about. There are tons of entities, and then even keeping this more in mind, a lot of times someone was telling me about this before. We get news that X company is buying a whole, $700 million worth of Bitcoin, and people go, wow, that's a lot of money, that's crazy. Not realizing that there are people every month who are buying $2,000, $5,000 worth of Bitcoin. There are people who are buying $100, $150 worth of Bitcoin every month. If you spread that across every single person, and especially if you had news as well before, what was it? I think 70% of Bitcoin supply has remained unmoved over the last 2 to 3 years, i.e., people are buying it, and once it hits a wallet, the custodial wallet of that person, they're not selling. Everyone's just accumulating at the exact same time, which is also really interesting to even note that one of the main reasons why Bitcoin's price might actually be going down is people who are simply selling to other rich people who are accumulating tons of Bitcoin. The same exact thing. It's all interconnected in some sort of way. There was a Twitter post a couple of weeks ago where someone mentioned, they were like, did you sell your Bitcoin to BlackRock? Because we had news a couple of weeks ago that BlackRock, the largest everything on the planet with $11 trillion in custody, was getting into Bitcoin. They would probably be logically buying Bitcoin as well. So yeah. Also, on top of that, NYDIG announced that their current Bitcoin holdings, they didn't tell us how much, actually increased by 100%. So their Bitcoin holdings doubled just over the course of a 12-month period. Do you remember years ago we had news that there was this guy in Dubai? Apparently he had hired a wealth manager person, something, and he gave this guy a bunch of money, was like, go buy Bitcoin with it. And this guy kind of went public. Not the Dubai guy, but his money maker guy. It was like, yeah, he gave me about $140 million and was like, go do whatever you want with it. And I was like, how many other people in Dubai and in Singapore and in like London are also doing things like that as well? It's very clever, I think, that a lot of times this news ends up hitting the market and people just aren't paying attention to it. Like it's almost like people have become relatively desensitized to this like incredible news that we keep on getting. Once again, this is just one company. I'm not talking about a multitude of companies. This is one company, $720 million Bitcoin fund. Their Bitcoin holdings have doubled, especially as the price was dropping, which means that they were able to get it at a discount. They also announced that for this new venture, they are going to have new offices for cryptocurrency mining, custody, and Lightning Network integration, which is also quite gigantic as well. We've been talking about Lightning Network for a while now. Lightning Network is the layered solution to Bitcoin to have actual adoption. We know that Bitcoin's slow. Bitcoin only does 3 transactions per second. However, Lightning will allow Bitcoin to have 1 million transactions per second. And currently, I think Lightning allows Bitcoin to have 10,000, 15,000 transactions per second on its network, and this is only increasing as we keep hearing more and more companies. Did you hear all the other luxury places and fashion houses who announced that they were also getting into Bitcoin, and they would also be using Bitcoin and accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment? One of the main ways that they're going to be able to do this is by using the Lightning Network to make sure that transactions are instantaneous and that the fee is 1 Satoshi, which is like 1/100th of 1 cent or something like that. Very interesting times that a lot of people, I think, at least are not paying very much attention to. On top of this is news from an analytics company. It's not a word. Analytics company called Chainalysis. There is usually Chainalysis and Sentiment. They're usually constantly in the news. They dig through blockchain information to see what's happening, where money is going, how people are using their crypto. That the richest, that is to say, addresses with over 100 Bitcoin, not excluding the people below that, but it's more of they looked at the richest Bitcoin addresses who hold more than 100 Bitcoin. These addresses, just those, have added 46,173 Bitcoin to their wallets, to their holdings in just the last 12 months alone. Why is this significant? Because all the rich people seem to be buying more and more and more Bitcoin, especially when prices are down. This will not be the last iteration of videos like this because we get news like this all the time. There are always companies, there are always institutions, there are always countries who are adopting Bitcoin and using it and allowing it as a payment option, payment method, and also for trade. I'm not sure if you understand explicitly that the world in front of us is changing quite rapidly, but believe me, it is. We are in a world right now where there are countries and institutions and banks and hedge funds and everyday normal people who are choosing to use a digital currency that was created 13 years ago over paper garbage, paper fiat currency, basically. Just imagine where we are going to be the next 13 years from here. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, great morning, great afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for leaving a like, a comment, or subscribing, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.